Hey, Oda, Tenegato, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Thaumcraft 4.2 with Birdtross. We're over here by the mushroom farm that we built last episode to generate ourselves a bunch of tenebrae, and as you can see, I've added a bit of redstone. So let's go ahead and talk about the redstone a little bit. What we have over here is a fairly simple redstone clock. We've just got an 8-tick sort of repeater thing. What is it for? I think it's a 4? I think so. Anyway, it's just sending a pulse every once in a while into here and pretty much nothing else. But the interesting thing over here is because I just needed a way to detect when this turned into a block, right? And so that's what I've got this monostable circuit for. So the idea is when this turns into a block, the redstone signal that comes from here will be transmitted through the block and trigger this monostable circuit. And that comes down here and pushes the piston. I thought I was gonna need to put some more complicated redstone down than that, but that turns out to be all that you need. There's just one fairly small problem with it. I don't actually have my hoe of growth on me, so let's head back to the Essentia platform and pick it up. Where is it? Right here, the hoe of growth, because it has that little bone meal effect on it, which we'll get to in a moment. But the idea is when this grows up, so one of the golems over there, come on, taking a while, aren't you, guy? There we go. Holy cow. But there you go. So you can see it happened pretty quickly there. The piston pushed up and pulled back down because it's a sticky piston. And you need this to be a pulsing thing because this redstone that's right here, it sort of does a bud triggering, like the dirt transfers power down to the piston through bud trickery. So this needs to be a pulse so that it constantly goes on and off, otherwise I just leave it as an on signal all the time. But yeah, the system pretty much works. If I gave this guy unlimited bone meal, it would definitely work forever, but that's just the thing about the system at the moment, is that it's not very efficient on the bone meal. So we've gone ahead and not put any bone meal in there at the moment, so we do have enough tenebrae and mushrooms stored up, at least for a little while. But yeah, so I've already turned a bunch of them into tenebrae. Oh yeah, so we've got more things going on here that you probably saw out the corner of your eye. I guess I should go ahead and talk about this stuff. We have over here a silverwood tree, guys. Went ahead and chopped that other one down and grew another one. With the saplings that came out of it. There are 2 saplings that came out of the tree when I chopped it down. One of them's up in my storage chest over there, and the other one is here, and it's got a pure node inside it, and sure enough, that has turned the area into a magical forest, or most of it anyway. I think this is the last block right here that needs to be turned. Yes, Mesa Plateau, you can see there. And if you go either side of it, magical forest. There's just one block left that needs to go, which is fairly awesome. But the downside, though, with the magical forest is, as it turns out, it spawns a bunch of these bad guys, or good guys, I suppose, just annoying guys. So I am having to periodically run around the base and kill these guys and get them off my turf. I don't really like just the noise of animals here in Minecraft, so and we've got cows over there as well. Man, I'm getting such a low frame rate at the moment. I think it's because of all of the Essentia tube stuff that I've done over there. I've been thinking about installing Optifine. Let me know what you guys think about that. I have been running without it this entire time, but I think we are getting time to install Optifine. I'm going to be getting 20 frames per second there, and that is definitely going to be noticeable in the video. And we also had some suggestions in the comment section to actually do a bit of building here on the base, or make the base look a little bit nicer, so I've put down a whole heap of night ore, as you probably were able to tell as well. And I've also chopped out a bunch of the clay that was here, because there was only 1 thick in most places. Still a heap of clay to go over this area and this area over here. But yeah, that is definitely enough progress in this area of department, taking your guys' feedback on board and trying to improve the base for you guys as well, because it is our base, guys. Got a bunch of nitro in here as well. I haven't put any nitro out this side, maybe I need to do that. There's also been some changes here. I talked quite some time ago about this sort of valve thing that was right here as well. We built the episode, I believe it was called Essentia Island, where I had a valve right here, and The problem with that is that it just wasn't working as well as I would like in terms of the suction sort of closing the valve. There'll be a bunch of Essentia that get stuck in the pipes, right? So I've gone ahead and spent another 8 arcane ears on putting the valves that are sort of right here and putting them back in, and they're all on the same note as the note that is over by the requester system. And I've tested the requester system out, and I had the same problem that I had last time when I was doing Instrumentum. I tested Winklum this time, and I've actually worked out what the problem is. It turns out that see, these filtered pipes, the filtered pipes are the problem. These filtered pipes, if I can get through, so I tested it right here with the Winklum. So I noticed that the suction coming from that is sort of, it was 70 something, I think, and sort of untyped, and then it changed to typed here. Now what I'm guessing happens is that regardless of whether or not the suction is untyped, as it would be coming from I said arcane bellows, that's what my brain wants to say, but it's a buffer. It comes from there and it's untyped, and then it goes into here and then it becomes typed. And what I'm guessing happens in the code of Thaumcraft is that untyped suction is sort of factored into the calculations of where Essentia should go last, instead of looking for it first. So that's a bit of a quirk in the system, unfortunately. Something that I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to solve without removing these filtered pipes. But the reason that these are here is because when you have these, it's just kind of nice to have the typed suction here. I guess they don't technically need to be there now that I think about it, but it's just really nice for stopping the wrong Essentia going places where you don't want it. But I don't think I've ever had a problem, and in theory you shouldn't really ever have a problem with that. Perhaps I need to do some tests with getting rid of these filtered Essentia tubes. Man, that's a lot of Essentia tubes that would have been wasted though on this project if I have to take them out. But another cool thing that I've done with the thing now is that I have the soundboard all hooked up. I've got a bunch of arcane ears here. For those of you who follow on Twitter, you will have been teased with this already. It's fairly straightforward stuff. We've got the first one right here, and you have to go underneath to see these ones. It's fairly standard stuff. I showed you guys a couple of episodes ago how this works. Each of these has got the 4 different types of blocks under it, so no matter what, a redstone signal is sent up into the T flip-flop to trigger the redstone lamp. And we've got the same thing going on up here as well. These have to be built back a little bit further, just so that they're not interfering with these guys that are over here. And the reason I'm able to build these things so close is because we've got these ones that are going into the wall a bit, and the same thing is going on down here as well. Just a little bit more space efficient, but yeah, the thing is up and running now, so it's very easy to tell when certain notes are triggered. So for example, this one's Mortus, so that's to let you know that the Mortus system has been opened, and you should only ever have with this system one open at once, right? Because if you have 2 open, then that's going to cause all kinds of mayhem in terms of suction and drawing things. Well, because we have the filter tubes, it doesn't draw things where it's not supposed to, right? So yeah, I think probably getting rid of the filter tubes is something that we're going to want to do. But anyway, that's enough of a tour of what's going on here in the base. Today what we want to do is go ahead and get started with making a bunch of these void metal ingots. Now the recipe for these is a bunch of metallum, which means that we need to have a bunch of it spare, but the only metallum that I have at the moment is the 3 that's right here, which I don't really want to use on this project, and the only other metallum that I have around is these 2 tanks right here. So I'm going to need to get a heap more metallum, and I figured, because I've been doing so much mining with the arcane boar, I'll go ahead and show you guys. I actually have a whole bunch stored up. Where is it? Right here? Oh, it's the chest here, I believe. Yeah, I've got an entire stack of blocks of iron right here. Now, the blocks of iron have got 27 in them, and the iron ingots have 4 in them. So 4 times 9 is higher than 27. So you basically, to get the most bang for your buck as far as metallum goes, you want to break down the iron ingots. So I'm going to break down a bunch of this, get some more jars of it going, as well as getting all of the jars together to make a whole heap of Seeds of Darkness. And you guys know the recipe for this, so I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. The last of the void metal ingots is just coming into the inventory now. Fantastic. I decided to go ahead and make 40 of these. We're going to need about 30 something if we want to make everything that's currently in the Thaumonomicon. I'm actually wanting to work on getting all the void armors and tools, by the way. I'm not sure if I made that clear, but I had to use a bunch of jars to get all of the materials that I wanted. Because you need to have Tenebrae, you need to have Alienis, you need to have, what else do you need to have? A whole heap of stuff, Aquos and Metallum as well, yes, so. But now we've got the void metal ingots out of the way, and now it's time to actually try making this stuff out of them, so we're going to need some sticks as well. I should have a bunch of those in here. I want to try and just basically get an entire set of all the tools. I never actually made any of the Thaumium tools. I sort of skipped that a bit, didn't I? I can't remember if these actually require these to make, and no, it doesn't look like they do. So the Void Sword has lesser sapping on it. I don't actually know what that means. Well, it looks like I can block with it just fine, and it looks kind of cool as well, extremely dark. Sort of almost obsidian coloured. If there were like an armor, I was about to say if there was an obsidian armor to go with it, that'd be awesome, but it turns out there is. It's called Void Armor. That's what we're about to make. Oh, man bird. Such a dummy sometimes. Let's get this stuff down. So, it's got +7 on it, right? So, and then there's the Void Pick. So, you've got the Void Pickaxe, and then you've got the Thaumium one right here, or the sort of the enchanted, infused Thaumium one right here. As far as I can tell, looking in the Thaumonomicon, it doesn't actually look like there's anything that you can do with these tools just yet. You can make them all, sort of like the Thaumium stuff, but there doesn't seem to be any sort of super version of them, like there is with the, the Pickaxe of the Core, Axe of the Stream, etc. There's nothing really for that for Void tools. In Thaumcraft 2 there was sort of something like that for the Void Cutter and the, what was it, Void Pickaxe I think it was? Something like that. Void Crusher, that's it. So you've got those two, but yeah, there's nothing quite like that in there. It's in this as far as I can tell. Let's get that shovel as well. +4 attack warping one. Apparently these are all supposed to repair themselves as well, so that'll be interesting. I'm wondering if we should upgrade to them is what I'm trying to say, because we've got all these tools that I'm starting to soup up. I just put Unbreaking 3 on my axe as well, as you can see. Apparently an impossible feat, according to people. You're wrong. Can you get a hoe out of this? I can't remember. Let's see, you can get a hoe, okay. A void hoe. Alright, let's go ahead and make one of those. And let's get the armor down as well. We'll go ahead and pop it on, I suppose, just to check out what it looks like. Let's get this as well. The helmet. Good thing that it doesn't cost any Vase. Pants, and finally, the boots. The little booties. There we go. Awesome. I'm not actually sure, was the hoe mentioned in the book here, because that was just sort of something that I just thought of right then to try out. Yeah, it is mentioned in here, okay. So it looks like I did have enough. I think I calculated that I needed 35, so I knew I'd have a couple spare, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and take this stuff off. I guess I should go ahead and I renamed our thermometer to Scan Stan. Rule number 1 of Thaumcraft. Don't you forget it anytime soon. Now let's put this stuff on the ground and see what kind of details we can get out of it. Man, that frame rate, I'm so sorry guys. I'm probably thinking getting Optifine to hopefully boost that frame rate a bit. Okay, we've got some Pedophilia and the other aspects that you might expect in Void stuff. Terloom. Not like I'm going to burn this stuff down to get those sort of more common, usual aspects out of them. Right, we've got the hoe as well. I imagine this will have metal inside it. Yes, we do does. Alright, but what about the armor here? Probably a bit of Tutamen, if I had to guess. And we'll go ahead and put it on as well. Get it on down on the ground. Get on the ground. And get scanned by ScanStan. So the leggings got a bit of Tutamen. Yeah, pretty much going to be the same for all of these. There you go. Yeah, sort of, we haven't really been interested exactly in what things have been in items for quite some time. I've started doing scanning of items off camera as well. Oh wow. Almost completely blacked out. Let's get the sword to complete the set. Wow. Hey man. That is extremely dark. Wow. There's not even like a face. Well, you know, it doesn't have an area for your face to come up. We've got a little bit for our hands, but nothing else right there. Wow. I am a void devil. Oh, that's pretty awesome. But we're not going to be keeping this void armor for long, are we? No, we're actually going to be using this relatively soon. Not in this episode, but we will be using it relatively soon to make the Void Thaumaturge robes. I'll need to prepare all the materials for this. I probably don't have enough wool to make all this enchanted fabric. And it looks like these spare ingots are going to come in handy after all. Fantastic stuff. But yeah, that's going to be something that I prepare for off camera. We might get to it in the next episode, who knows? But I just want to finish this episode off by actually utilizing our magical forest. Let's get this armor off and probably stick it away. We're going to go ahead and head to one of the magical forests and see if we can harvest up some magic beans and see if we can grow them in the magical forest. And welcome to the magical forest. I've just realized that harvesting mana beans isn't... Oh, hey. Harvesting mana beans isn't going to be all that profitable for us because we haven't really lived here for very long. Well, haven't been here very long in this magical forest. So I'm looking around and there's... Whoa! I'm looking around and there's creepers. Not quite. Sorry, dude. Creeper blast crater here now, sorry. But yeah, there's stuff like this all around the place, right? Where the mana beans haven't really grown up yet. But I am seeing that there are a couple that are like this one that sort of look a bit more healthy. That one's even actually showing me a order door one right there. I guess that means that it's about ready to harvest. We got ourselves a mana bean. Okay, this is the first time we're looking at any of this stuff. Let's see if we can stand this as well. If we get that down, what does that say? One order, fair enough. Ferns, I haven't scanned those either. Okay, that's got Erba and Iron. There you go. Fact of the day. Oh wow, a bunch of dirt right there. Let's see if we can find any more things. We actually want to get, ideally we want to get Air and Aqua so that we can actually make some Tempestas. So if I just whack that looks like they emit light as well. Unfortunately we're not getting any bonus seeds for our trouble here, so... Oh, there we go. So we got another one. Yeah, so it looks like pretty much at this point you just have to replant them and hope for better luck next time in terms of getting more seeds out of it. But yeah, it looks like we're kind of drying up in the seed department, unfortunately. Well, we'll try and get as many of these home as possible. Looks like we've got some ingies right there. That one's not grown. There we go. This one's grown up. So, Ingies and Ordador, yeah, that's right. Ingies and Ordador would make Potentia, I think. So we could farm up some Potentia mana beans, which could be fun. Yeah, obviously we want to have a decent-sized farm for not just the primals. Looks like that one did too, but I thought I saw two come out. Where'd the other one go? Oh well, that's a bit of a shame. Yeah. Where'd it go? There it is. I know I have the X of the stream, and I probably could have saved myself a bit there, but... Anyway, if we can look around and find some of these other ones, I'm only seeing these two. I'm not seeing the other types of mana bean yet. Tons of oil, though. Holy cow. Get some more of that. Thank you very much. Man, so much, and that one's not fully grown yet. Another Agnes one. Man, maybe there are sort of only a couple... or two or three of the primals grow in each forest, and as I say that, of course, here I spot an aqua one, so, alright. Got a bunch of these, yeah, I'm gonna keep going and seeing if I can farm these a little bit. I just wanted to show you guys my first experience of harvesting them on camera, but I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can look around and find some more of these primals, and we'll be back at the base momentarily. And we are back home, and look, turns out that I was actually able to find 5 different types of mana bean in that farm, that magical forest. It seems like most of them were Orodor, and a bit of ingots in there as well, and we also found pretty rarely some aqua, and also off camera I found some erba, which kind of intrigued me a bit, because the Thaumanomicon says that it's only the primals that you're supposed to get, but we also got a little bit of terra there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the aqua and Orodor to go. I think those are some of the most important ones. I think I saw some pods growing as well, but they weren't ready to harvest. Now, from what I've seen online, in order to actually grow these mana things, what you have to do is set up an area like this. I'm not sure if it has to be great wood, but I'm just using great wood just because we've got a heap of it, and if it is the case, you know, we've just got heaps of it. But you have to have the underside of the wood, I believe. You used to be able to do the side like that. Did I just... Okay, I didn't munch it completely, I just sort of little munched it. Little munches. So you're supposed to put them on the bottom like that, and then that's supposed to grow at some point. But I'm just going to go ahead and do an entire line of those, and probably just do a little bit more. So yeah, eventually the plan is we'll have an entire... basically, every single aspect in the game will have a mana farm for. Obviously, the ones that we can't get very easily, such as Tempestas, Metal, ones like that, we're going to have significantly larger farms for than other ones that are relatively easy to get, such as ingots, terra. I mean, we'll still have decent-sized farms for those, just so that we can get all of the other compound aspects all sorted out, but yeah, that is the general plan. Huge farms for the things that are hard to get. Things like Alrum as well. That's another pretty hard one. And yeah, but looks like we've only got 2 of these, so let's put those there. And those will hopefully grow up. Now, the cultivation of these, the Thaumanomicon says that they'll take bloom in ages to grow, basically. It looks like we've actually got the very first hints of a mana pod right now. But I think you can speed it up with a Lamp of Growth as well, so we'll go ahead and get a Lamp of Growth set up here for next episode. But yeah, this is pretty much, it's going to be sort of a project that is done off camera for the most part in terms of cultivating these things. Perhaps once I get enough of these, and so that we can sort of demonstrate exactly how to make the compound aspects. I think it's just primal, and then you can put a miscellaneous one in the middle, and hopefully that will turn into your compound aspect. We just need to wait for this block to turn into a magical forest, and then I want to chop the tree down, and except for the block with the node inside it, I want to see if I can move that block with a piston, but I'm guessing I won't be able to, but got to experiment. That is it for this episode of Thaumcraft 4.2 with Birdtross. We've got a heap of stuff done today. We've got the void ingots to check out the new armor and weapons, and we also got the very first inklings of our mana farm here. Hope that you enjoyed the episode. Thank you very much for watching. Kia kaha. And I'll see you in the next episode.